memories?
Well, I didn't work with AC/DC. In fact, I was quite ignorant of them. Being somewhat of a snob, I thought the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, the things that I worked on, Eric Clapton, were one all should listen to. And I was in Florida in 81 or 80, working with these cats from Atlanta, and they said, AC/DC are the deal. I went, nah, a bunch of Australians, give me a break. And they played me this record, and it was so relentless and so gorgeous and fantastic. I reformed immediately and stopped being that much of a snob. And I suppose the thing about AC/DC that all of us like so much is that they're not only relentless and will never give in, but their time and their grooves are undeniable, and the show must go on. And how does Angus play those solos when he's spinning on the ground and doesn't drop a note? The little bastard. Then of course he is Scottish, you see.
I thought he was Australian. He's Scottish?
Well, I mean, the parents are Scottish, and I think they were born in Scotland. The other funny thing is, I didn't realise I was watching VH1 the other day. When I was 17 and I first started work at Olympic Studios, Jimi Hendrix I was assisting with. Within a week, I mean, talk about off the deep end. My brother's working with this band called, Christ, sorry, I hope you're editing. They had done Friday on my mind, they were called The Easy Beats, yes. So, the lead singer of Easy Beats is the elder brother that produces the records. And I'll never forget this. And I'm there with my girlfriend. It's the 2 days before I start work at this place. And my girlfriend goes off with the singer, and she spends the whole afternoon at the piano with this guy trying to seduce her. Boy, am I pissed off. So that's the only connection I've got with AC/DC, apart from admiring them tremendously, and the fact their older brother tried to steal my chick when I was 17.
Bon Scott's considered an extremely underrated singer. He was. How did you value him as a singer?
Well, what do you mean underrated? I mean, that's like people saying Ringo was not a good drummer. It's taste, and there's also that other ridiculous thing, the best guitar player on the planet is Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix. I mean, it's a matter of taste and opinion. I wouldn't underrate him for singing like that, in that fashion, in that style. There is Bon Scott, and that's it. So how can you underrate something that is there? And it's undeniable, and how can you beat that? No. Well, then how do you rate it? I don't know. It's like saying what's the most important card in the deck. It depends what hand you're playing. You might not need an ace. You might not need a jack. You might just need another 6 of clubs, and then you got 4 of them. You know what I mean? And then you win.
But then Brian took over, and he had to fill some very big shoes.
Well,
he
must have been absolutely petrified, but obviously he has tremendous spirit, desire, and filled the shoes, one would imagine, better than anyone else could. I mean, they knew what they were doing. They're not going to get someone that couldn't. And he must have been scared. And you see the interviews with him, they talk about, well, you know, we think about him all the time, and he's there in the room with us. But Brian obviously doesn't seem to mind that. He's quite aware of it, and I've worked with several bands where members had died and things, and you just continued. With the stuff when Brian died, Mick Taylor came in. It was just different. So yeah, the guy's incredible. They are an amazing band, and they will never stop.
They will never ever stop? There was talks of retiring this year.
Yeah, but everyone says that. Everyone says that, yes, this is the last tour. Sure enough, until you sit and watch TV for too many days, well, you know what, we might get back together.